in order to do all of that, what about me? Because I'm the person who's actually doing it with the support of the creator, but I am the physical that is doing it, right? And so what person am I? Do I have the energy? Do I have the discipline? Do I have the willingness? Do I have the obedience in order to do that? Okay? This is what we're asking ourselves in order to support our work. Can you see that? The 4 ways that we step into the work. These are questions you would want to ask yourself, right? Questions you would want to ask yourself when it comes to the work. 1, what results do you want? Again, you got to remember, asking is part of the journey. Asking yourself questions is part of the journey. Not really staying in them, but asking yourself and really discovering in you, what is it that you feel like where you need support in, where you need to grow in. And in order to figure that out, in order to discover that, yes, God is going to enlighten you in so many different ways, but you get to ask yourself, okay, you get to check in. So in checking in, you ask yourself, well, what results do you want? What results do you want? How does it look like? How does your results look like, right? So there's a particular way, again, we illustrated this with the releasing of the weight. There's a result that you want. I want to be active. I want to be popping. No, I'm already popping. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't conceited, I'm just saying. All right? God gave me confidence. How about that? Long way, but we did it, right? And so I want energy. I want to know that I'm healthy in order to live longer, in order to give back to the world. If I'm not good and waking up good, how am I going to give back? What results do you want, right? How does that result look like to you? What are you in search of, okay? Then you ask yourself, well, what machine is going to help you get there? The reason you're asking yourself that is because you're working for purpose, on purpose, with purpose, right? So if say you don't want muscles, you just really want to release weight. Again, we're referencing this back to the gym. Allow it to work with you however you see fit, okay? If you're wanting to do weight training, you're not going to go on the treadmill every day, and so therefore you have to know what you want. You have to always use God, plan, and support, by the way. And so you have to know what you want. Then you have to know what's going to get you there. Okay? Do I need to work on my emotional, spiritual, mental, physical? And remember, as I offered in the beginning, it's often good to work on all of it. It's just a matter of when. Right? What do I need to tap into first? And that goes with your needs. Your needs are going to allow you to tap into what's going to support you, right? But I believe it's going to be a little bit of everything. Okay? It's always a little bit of everything. And then you have, how many times, right? So here's the routine. How often do I need to work on me? Okay. So you have how many times, okay? How many times with intentions? That's why you're asking yourselves that, because again, you're doing everything with intentions. So how often do I get to work on me? How often should I be working on me as comparison to how the time I really put in? Because again, part of the work is to find time and invest it in yourself. How often am I going to work on my spiritual growth, my emotional growth, my mental growth? How often do I actually work on it compared to how what I'm looking to receive from it? Okay, because you get to work on yourself. You get to tap into it, and sometimes it could be maybe you take public transportation and you're not the driver, and in those moments you're reading something, or in those moments you're listening to something. Maybe it could look like, give and take. Whether before you hop on that Netflix, you're hopping on something else, all right? In order to support your growth, okay? And then you have what energy, okay? What energy? Often when I speak about energy, I'm talking about the person, okay? The beings that are going to have to be involved in order to execute that goal, in order to execute the results you need. Okay, so the last one is what beings. Let's fix that right there so you can see it. Instagram, can you see it? I'm going to get better with the writing, I promise you. And so, what beings, okay? So, in order to answer the being part, so the questions you may want to ask in order to support you with number 4 would be, if you had the results that you are looking to get, how would you feel, right? When we get the results that we want, that means we're successful in the works that we're doing. So therefore, you may feel things like being proud. You may feel things like being happy, okay? You may feel things like confident, okay? Things of that nature, right? And then you can also ask yourself, for you to be that person that is getting the result, what kind of person you have to be, right? What kind of person you have to be. And so that means, in order for me to go and release the weight at the gym, I have to be determined. I have to be disciplined, okay? I have to have energy, energetic. I have to be willing. Even sometimes if I don't have the energy, I have to be willing to force myself to get to the gym, right? So willing to do the work. I have to be willing to do the work. I have to be obedient, right? Even when I don't feel like it, I know that I've prayed about things and the Father has placed it in my heart to move. And so when He placed it in my heart to move, I will move in obedience, right? And so therefore, these are the things that we get to be as we're doing the work. The feelings we get to have as we see the work happening. So these are the feelings we get to have, right? And these are the attributes we get to be, right? When we talk about being, that's what we're talking about. So this is a person, the things we get to put into the world, out in the universe, our energy. When you visualize yourself as giving back in an energy form, right? You're giving back, you're being determined, disciplined, obedient, you're being willing, right? These are the things that we're being, right? The ways that we're operating in. The ways that we're operating in will be this. The feelings we get to have from our success is proud, happy, confident, right? So the 4 ways, you ask yourself, what results do you want? Then you ask yourself, what machine is going to support you in getting there, which is equal to picking out is it spiritual, mental, emotional, physical work that I have to do? Just like you would pick out, is it the treadmill, weight, bike, or class that I have to utilize, right? And so after you do that, you decide, how often do I need to work on it, right? Pick times to work on yourself. How often do I have to work on it? What routine am I going to have? I erased it, but what routine am I going to have? Right? Am I going to wake up, read books, wake up, meditate, pray? Am I going to wake up just like when you go to the gym? What are you going to do when you get to the gym? Yeah, you know you're going to use machines. Yeah, you know you're going to take classes, but be intentional. What classes am I going to take? It's the same thing, right? And so then you ask yourself, well, in order to do all of that, what about me? Because I'm the person who's actually doing it with the support of the Creator, but I am the physical that is doing it, right? And so what person am I? Do I have the energy? Do I have the discipline? Do I have the willingness? Do I have the obedience in order to do that? Okay? This is what we're asking ourselves in order to support our work. And so you get to do that. When we take time to do the work, this is when we're going to receive the results. I'm going to repeat bold, proud, and confidently that there's no way. We're saying that we want to elevate, we want a growth in our lives, we want God to send us an increase, and we're praying for all these things and we are not putting in the work, right? And I say that to say, yes, there's a part of surrendering. We are depending on the spiritual, right? We're depending on the Father to take us there, because there are some parts of the work, honey, if you feel you're going to do by yourself, I will say kudos to you. Me, I definitely want to use my God's plan of support. So we're not doing this work alone. That's when you begin to understand the spiritual work, in which we will talk about spiritual lenses next week for the work. But for today, this is the work, how the work looks like, what the work is about, how we're illustrating the work in our plan, in our everyday life. This is the work.